Greetings and welcome to Make It Make Sense. Today we're going to dive in to the doctrine based on the rapture, or what is known as the rapture. And I want you to ask yourself if it really makes sense to you, the way how it was basically interpreted to you. Well, there's some people who are going to say, well, the word rapture is not in the Bible, but they will tell you in Corinthians, it says that you'll change from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye. And the most important thing there is the twinkling of an eye. And most people believe it means just in a moment like that, without the involvement of an eye. But I'm telling you, based from experience, that there is an involvement of an opening of an eye within you. And I'm still here testifying to you that I've experienced that change from mortal to immortality. It is called enlightenment. It is you coming back to the source. It is you coming back to your true essence. It is you dying, yet still alive, so that you will understand that death is just an illusion. So it's not a taboo, and you don't need to fear. Fear not, it is I. You see, many people read that in the Bible and they think it is speaking about a person saying that you mustn't fear because they are there in flesh, in the physical flesh. No. When you say fear not, it is I. It is symbology. It is a language whereby you have to learn to read between the line. And it is a language that you just can't really understand and know intellectually. Okay? So, my brother, my sisters, in 2015, I experienced what religious people call the rapture. Okay? But the rapture and the virgin birth is basically the same event. The rapture and the resurrection is actually the same event. Okay? So, many people believe that they're separate events and they believe that there's a story that starts with the birth of a child and it ends with a resurrection. No. One experience. Okay? You see, when you understand the rebirth and you understand what it means to be born again, and you really understand how the story of the upper room, how it's an experience, and many people are claiming that they would have had that experience, yet they have never heard the mighty rushing wind. I did. Yet they never experienced themselves as tongues of cloven fire above their head, which means they have never vibrated as a fiery being and burst their crown chakra and go beyond, okay, into the ninth ether, go into the ninth power. They never experience themselves in the invisible realm as being invisible and as pure consciousness. So when I speak about the like consciousness being the only reality, when I speak that you are not the body, you're not the mind, and so on, okay, it is because of experience. So my brother, my sisters, those people are telling about rapture and some man gonna come from the sky, they only could tell you soon. That's why they tell you Jesus is coming soon. But Jesus is I am. And you can never say I am for another. And the name of God is I am. And it's from generation to generation. That's your memorial. And you can never say I am and not referring to yourself. And the universal question of life will always be, who am I? Where I came from? Where am I going when I leave here? And so on. And whenever you get the answer, it will be, I am that I am. I am that I am. I am whatever I believe myself to be. For as a man thinks in the invisible world, so shall he be established in this physical three-dimensional world, this world of the five senses. So everything in this world that you see, that we call science and technology, It comes from an inner science that is known as alchemy. You see, mental alchemy is where you use the power of the mind by understanding the alchemical process of how thoughts become things and how spirit becomes matter. You see, you're spirit, first of all, and you're having a human experience. But they make you believe that you're human and you're trying to be spiritual. So you want to become so spiritual that one day you believe that you're going to flip out of your body and plane going to crash because the pylon the pylon would have ruptured. And you believe, oh, they're going to be all kind of catastrophe happening on the earth because vehicles would be driving with no driver, and they're gonna collide and chain and all of these different things because people just leaving the body like that. No, 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 no. You see, most people believe that BIBLE is basic instruction before leaving Earth, and they believe that you're gonna leave this physical earth outside of death. There could never be no resurrection without a death. Now, based on my experience and my knowledge and understanding of self, my definition of BIBLE is basic inner belief, life eternal. You will discover your eternal self. Your beliefs should always be pointing you to look within, never on the outside. So, to conclude everything that I'm saying, they've been telling you of a man who resurrected, but they never tell you what the man really taught. So, if you really study all the doctrines of all the religions around the world who believe in some prophet, some Messiah and so on, they always have you just talking about the man and what the man would have done and so on. Okay, but they never really teach you what the man would have taught. And they never really explain to you that anything that one ever speak, it had to first be a thought, it had to first be an idea, it had to first be imagined. And anything that anyone would have ever done in this world, it had to first be a thought, it had to first be an idea, it had to first be imagined. So the mental and psychological is connected to the spiritual. And from the spiritual to the mental and psychological and then to the physical. So you are a triune being. Okay. Now it's the other way around. Okay. You're gonna move from the physical to the mental world and into the spiritual world, and you will experience alchemy itself and become alchemy itself, and you will definitely give that birth. You see, a woman carries a birth for 9 months. Okay, but when you understand that there's only now, and there's only light and there's only darkness, and we call these different cycles, we add name to them and give them days and months and so on and all of that, right? When you have this birth of which I'm speaking about, which is the birth from above, the birth from Golgotha here, the skull, okay? That baby, you could give birth one time, so you're being impregnated and giving birth at the same time. Everything is happening in that moment, okay? Because why? Time is an illusion. It's not real. That's why they only could tell you, oh, Jesus is coming soon. It will all be soon. Soon, 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 soon. And they can't tell if he's coming from the north, the south, the east, and the west. And they're just gonna tell you that you're gonna come like a thief in the night and so on. You know, and I come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Okay, I'm telling you, okay, you will kill all your ego beliefs and the things that was passed on to you as traditions. Those will be killed. Okay, and the stealing, okay, is where you take something from one location and bring it to another location. Okay? In other words, it is where you gonna change from one farm to another farm. And it would destroy all of your farmer beliefs, all of your programming, you know, all of the conformity. Okay? And you will be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You start to have a new way of thinking. So the rapture is something that is taking place all the time, and it's only those who experience it can be able to tell you about it. But of course, the people are gonna say blasphemy. The very character that they're reading about in the scripture taught all these things that I'm teaching you right now. And you can never plant a pumpkin and reap watermelon. If that mind or that life is in you, you have to produce the same thing. Okay? That is why the political wall and the religious wall will want to crucify your wisdom, your knowledge, and your understanding. They will want to crucify your imagination, your insight, your inner sight. People build a website. Do you realize all these things just a replica of what is happening within? So, my brother, my sisters, the rapture can only make sense when you have the experience itself and realize that you're still here. And you tell your brother, your brother and sister have the experience, and they will say, blasphemy. When you say, I am the Father, I one, they will say, blasphemy. Okay, so it's all about you. The Bible is your spiritual autobiography that must be understood metaphysically and esoterically, must be understood psychologically, and must all be pointing to look inwardly, not outwardly. Remember, okay, in Luke 17:21, it tells you, don't let no man say to you, lo here or lo there. The kingdom of God is where? Within you. Everything is taking place within you. The rapture will take place within, and then you know what this is all about. So, with that being said, my brother, my sister, I hope what I'm saying, it makes sense to you. If it do, and you like to get more videos like this, I definitely encourage you to like, subscribe, to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at Black Mark Guru. And my other channel is by that name also, you can check it out. Also, if you want to book a one-on-one with me, you can send me an email and we can link up with a one-on-one. If not, and you like to get my books, the links are down in the description. You have about 10 or more books to choose from. And if you like to become a part of my Patreon community, you're welcome. And for those who are donating $20 or more, I have a course there that's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course and self-concept. Also, if you want to become a part of my Free Thinkers and Seekers University, you can do so. I try my best every week to post up a masterclass there to help you in your spiritual journey. But whatsoever is your desire, my last encouragement to you is to make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below and definitely let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So with that being said, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.